Yeah. I'll give you $15.
Thank you.
Yes. Love you more.
Hello? Yeah. Who? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Oh,
Yes. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Good.
I'm sorry, I was having a little bit of an issue. I'm like, why can't I hear him? And then I realized I had my laptop on mute. So I do
I I
apologize.
I, I think I had mine on mute as well. So
Can you see me?
actually, I had to download the app, so I'm waiting for it to download. Let me see if it's doing it now.
Okay.
Um, give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Uh, let's see if this will work. I'm sorry. All right, I think I got it. I think it's connecting. Okay, there it is. Said it's having a problem connecting to the audio. Um, okay, I think I'm not sure. Okay, I can see a few people. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you too.
Okay. Okay, I can see. Okay, Michelle, Miss Michelle.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then I think that's the only picture I see. And then it just says TWS at the top. I'm not sure.
That's me, not Thomas.
Okay, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, that's better.
Everyone, please mute your microphones until it's time for you to speak. So TWS, could you please mute your microphone? And calling user, please mute your
Okay.
microphone. We're still waiting on one more board member. Give us 1 second, please. Okay, Mr. Chairman, we can proceed with the preamble. Mr. Gallagher, you're muted.
Thank you. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We also have received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Mr. Jacobson? Is there Mr. Jacobson or another attorney for the city?
I'm sorry, we were muted. Start that over.
Oh, weird. Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Jacobson from the Law Department. As a preliminary issue, can we verify that the live stream is on and functioning? Confirmed. And Mr. Chairman, as the Law Department has done since these meetings have gone virtual and are hybrid, law objects to the use of the chat function. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Davis?
Mr. Bradley? You're muted, Mr. Bradley.
Here.
Mr. Maschke?
Here.
Mr. Dink?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, very good. We'll call the first case, docket 8-10-23, 3422/9000 East 78th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance, issued on January 10th of 2023. appeal was received January 17th of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. You have to unmute.
Rula Khalil.
Okay, Ms. Khalil, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, swear.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know what your plans are.
I really like, to extend the land and fancy, because I have so many people coming through, for real, like people not like to buy, people stealing, and they throwing so much garbage in the front, in the back. I see people throwing garbage there, and I stop, and I try to stop, and they say, why? We have so many years throwing garbage here. So I told them, but you're not supposed to. This is illegal. And still, they not listen to me, and they still keep going, throwing the garbage. And for real, I really like to fancy, put a light, and put, fancy all around and make it clean. So I need that help too, from see if they can help me with that.
Okay, so your main thing is to try to keep the exterior clean. That's what this notice is about. So I'm gonna ask see Mr. Vanover and see what's going on there.
And excuse me, and hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and I tried to find a lawyer, and I called so many lawyers. Nobody called me back. I called the survey, because they told me I have to come by the land. But still, I don't understand why, but nobody called me back. It's unbelievable. And I asked a lot of people, they have a survey. They know us couples one, and they give me the number, and I left a message, and I keep calling, and I don't understand why nobody calling me back.
Okay.
And I can find the lawyer, I can find the survey. I don't understand why.
Okay, well, we might have to go to some more different ones, I guess. Mr. Vanover. Are you muted?
Mr. Chairman, there's two violation notices. I think that the one that the appellant was speaking of is that there was a zoning violation that was appealed and was remanded. It was denied and remanded back. So the ability to get a fence, I do not see a permit application applied for to install a fence. So that's not why we're here. This is an illegal, it's a exterior maintenance violation that needs to be corrected. And I didn't hear really any discussion on that.
So this is of the building, Mr. Vanover?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, the building and the premises, but it's the building as well.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Khalil?
Yes.
Okay, so you heard from the building chief that there's problems with the exterior that you need to abate. And so that's what we're gonna talk about here, is trying to keeping the property clean and abating the violation on the building itself for exterior maintenance. How long is it gonna take you to do those?
What is that? What I have to clean? They told me about the card, and I moved those cards from the other lands. And later they asked me, like, I gotta come by the land to, how do you say it? Like, here, how you say, like, double business? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say in English. They were saying like, I gotta come by the land, And
Oh. Well, okay, you have a different issue, I think, on that Mr. Vanover brought up and, you know, to something that you're trying to accomplish and I think they have remanded that. And, but what we're discussing is the building itself. It has exterior issues. And so you've been cited.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I apologize. I'm looking and looking closer at this. That's another matter. This
Okay,
was cited for junk and debris and abandoned or just, you know, broken motor vehicles, inoperable motor vehicles or motor vehicles parked on illegally parked. So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, you said that, ma'am, you said that you moved the vehicles. Where did you move the vehicles to?
I scrap him. I moved those vehicles. I scrap him. There was to the other side the land.
You scrapped them or you moved them to the other side?
No, I scrapped in those. I scrap all those cars.
So,
And a long time ago, the moment when they told me to move it, I scrap them all those cars. I sold them to pull apart.
okay, and what is left on the property to clean up?
Nothing. It's only the whatever I have in my property.
So has the inspector was back May 31st and identified that the vehicles had been moved, but have you had a final inspection for the rest of the debris?
No. I'm trying to, looking for survey, and I called so many and nobody answered me. Nobody called me back.
you're looking for a survey for the fence?
Yeah, for the fence, I want to fence it, and I'm waiting for you guys from the city that, because I gotta make it. How you say I am? I'm sorry.
Well, I think you have to apply for a permit for that.
I have to apply permit. I have to put a permit for the fence.
Well, she
For
just,
the fence,
I believe
yes.
she just wants to replace the fence that she already has and extend it. Right.
Okay,
Well, then that'll require a permit.
Okay.
So if you could you explain this address issue with me? It's 3422 and 9000.
And 9,000?
Yeah, so 9000 East 78th Street. There's also 2 violation notices on that.
She doesn't have 2 addresses on it.
maybe Ms. Davis can weigh in on that.
Can you
Um,
recommend me a lawyer or survey, please, so that way they can help me with those
Mr.
paper and what to do?
Mr.
Let's
Khalil, Ms.
Yeah,
Khalil,
let's
one
clear up the
second.
addresses. Go ahead, Ms.
Uh,
Davis.
Mr. Chairman, to Tom Vanover. I want to say the structure address is 3422 East 78. And the vacant lot where she was cited for storing vehicles is 9000 East 78.
Okay, so it appears that the address at 9000 East 78th is All Star Towing. Ms. Khalil, that's your business, is All Star Towing
Yes.
through the chairman? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, so Mr. Chairman, I mean, there's quite a bit going on here. There's the junk motor vehicles and for the towing center and for the towing company, and then any other debris that may be present. We cannot recommend a lawyer or a surveyor. You'll have to find them on your own, but ultimately it needs to be you know, the premises need to be cleaned up. And, may I ask, do you have a certificate of occupancy for the use
What
of
is,
this? Because as a tow truck yard?
في معك certificate اللي تسوي شو انت معاه بتسوي يعني؟
تبع البيزنس؟ Yes. هذا ال EIN number.
هذا the certificate of occupancy يعني انت تقدر تسوي هذا like yeah, she has it.
Okay, and so it's, and so the tow truck company's licensed with the city?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You want to check on that, because it's, if it's not, it should be.
You know,
So
let me
Mr.
explain. Give me 1 second. You know, the business that my ex-husband and his brother, they was from beginning in the business, right? So later, I took the business because they was doing wrong stuff in the business, like
So they're not in the picture anymore, so she doesn't know what they began off with. So it's just all on her. So we have to figure out what she has and what she doesn't have.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
and I want to
doesn't-
do everything the right thing. You know, I want to do whatever I have to do. I want to do it, but I need a lawyer. And for real, I speak so many lawyers too, and they never coming back to me.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, Ms. Khalil, do you have somebody with you? And if so, could they identify themselves?
Yeah, I'm her daughter. My name is Aya Woody.
Okay, just wanted to make that connection.
Dan, she needs to be sworn.
Yes, if you have been given testimony, is there a way you could be sworn in?
Yes, we can swear her in too. Yeah, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, we're all set.
And again, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, could she state her name again, so we have it on record? Thank you.
Aya Woody.
Do you mind spelling that through the chair?
What is it? Sorry.
Just spell your last or your full name.
First name is Ayat. Last name is Woodi.
Thank you. And through the chairman to the appellant and her representative, it looks like there are several parcels around here. There are two in question today, but it looks like there's a lot other ones that aren't before the board today. I wanted to ask if the property on where the structure is on 3422 East 78th Street, if that is occupied in a functioning business, is it operational?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
I wanted to ask if that structure is a commercial structure, a business currently being operated.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman and Ms. Khalil, I think this is where we're at, and there are, on each property, there are 2 violation notices. 2 are building violation notices, 1 of each are before this board, and the other 2 are zoning. This is a tow truck company that is located on these 2 parcels. And like most tow truck companies, eventually they become junkyards where they tow vehicles to the yard and they're inoperable vehicles. The legal use of a wrecking yard has not been established at this location. So that's where the zoning violation notices were issued. Those were appealed, they were denied. Once they were denied by zoning, the wrecking yard portion and the dismantled vehicles and the junk and debris, it is not legal, and therefore it just becomes junk and debris. And we ask, as part of this appeal, that you remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing, and then the applicant can still clean it up But ultimately, one of two things has to happen. Either an application needs to be made to legalize this use as for the storage of dismantled motor vehicles, or it just becomes an illegal dump.
So I actually have a question. Sorry to cut you off. So
Okay.
they gave her a violation for wrecking, but there was no wrecking in place.
What is that written?
Yani, you took, although you wrecked the car.
No, I never break the car there.
Yeah.
Only park
but-
for a moment and
So
later scrap
the
it.
only thing that was happening with that land was that we were parking cars temporarily just to open up space on our lot to either get rid of the cars or move them.
Okay.
We never do that kind of job. We're not doing like that.
We don't have the tools to even do it either. So I'm
Right,
confused
but there
on-
were, so I will speak briefly because that was part of the zoning appeal.
Yeah.
That's already been heard and has already been decided. But the act of having inoperable or just partially dismantled cars is then it becomes considered a wrecking yard. So you said you've removed the vehicles. At this point, it sounds like all that's left, and the inspector has confirmed that the vehicles have been removed, is that the yard everything else gets cleaned up so that it no longer looks like a junkyard. And you need a final inspection to do that.
Okay.
طب شو احنا عاوزين يعني
So what do we need to get in order to clear everything up?
So you need to complete cleaning up the property before the fence, before the survey and all of that. You need to clean up everything on the property other than, that all the debris and all of the other, wrecked or dismantled parts. And you need to call the inspector to get a final inspection to close the VN.
Okay.
How much time do you need?
maybe 2 months.
Yeah, I would say 2 months, just so we can get everything cleared out.
Mr. Vanover?
Months? I'm sorry, what did I?
We tried
Yes,
as soon as possible.
We will do everything to get it done beforehand, but just in case, I am trying to have extra time just in case it does take longer.
So tell me how many months again? I'm sorry, you broke up.
2 months.
2 months. Mr. Chairman, we don't object to that.
Okay. So motion is in order for October 15th, 60 days, 2023 to abate the violations. Moved by Mr.
So for the
Bradley.
I'm
Hold
so
on
sorry.
just a minute.
okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Motion by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, what was your question?
So what were we supposed to do? Just the cleaning of
No,
the
what we-
debris and
What we need to do for the business to make the business like that
yeah,
يعني.
بس احنا لازم نسوي
Well,
الviolation.
that's a different, I mean, that may be a different issue because, part of this was zoning, it was denied, but I'm not sure what the other business is. But right now, the focus is on cleaning that up, making sure the exterior is clean and getting a final inspection on it. And-
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's what you need to do.
Where exterior
من
يعني
برا يعني من برا لازم
طبعا.
حول اللot يعني. So
Reach out to your inspector.
they said you have 60 days to clean up, but then احنا لازم نتلفن على الانسبكتور so هو بيقدر يجي يتشيك عليها. But then هم بيقولوا they tell them and then it gets cleared.
Okay? You'll be getting a notice within 2 weeks. Thank you.
So خلاص. All right, thank you.
Okay.
No,
next-
hold on, please. Hold on. I have a question. شو ما بدهم عشان انا اسوي هذا؟ هم قالوا بدي
هذول-
لايسنس.
yeah هذا أنا شطبته already. انتي لازم تروحي على downtown. انتي لازم تروحي تحكي معهم and get an application and fill it out.
for the business.
Yeah. Like the
So احنا we
permits.
can do it without need a lawyer.
No احنا نقدر نسويها.
خلينا نتقبل. Okay. What else we need for the business? What kind of license we need it?
Okay, well,
So,
that,
Mr. Chairman, reach out to your inspector and, come to 505 at City Hall and they'll be able to work you through all of that.
But the problem when I go there and I keep asking, and those people they, over there in the city, and I go, so they send me up and down different offices, and they told me go to that office. But when I go, they send me to the other one. They send me like a 3-4 offices, and everyone says something different. And I be there like a 3-4 hours, and I never do nothing. All the time when I go there, nobody can help me. So, you know, I'm trying to get a lawyer too, so that way they can help me. And when I explain to those lawyers to call me back, I explain my situation, they never call me back neither. So
okay,
I always be in the same spot. I'm trying to do that stuff, and I always be in the same spot.
okay.
I be like a stuck. I'm not do nothing because people then
If
keep
you,
me away.
again, if you go to room 505 at City Hall and tell them you need to establish the use of your tow truck yard. Room 505, they will tell you what you need to do.
Okay,
All right?
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, A 4723 16122 Lakeshore Boulevard.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit. Issued February 3rd of 2023. Appeal was received March 3rd of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see anyone in the participant panel.
Okay, let me swear in Mr. Vanover. Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. Probably might be muted. You good?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson, go ahead and ask your questions.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
To Mr. Chairman, to Dan Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, voice messages, anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
To Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, due process requirements of notice have been given. The board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, it does appear that they've made application for the permit, but it has not been issued yet. And we would ask, and that's probably why they're not here. But we would ask that you remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing while it's going through the permit process.
Okay. So a motion is in order to deny any more time and remand the property division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dink,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maschke?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Next docket is A 16122, 3424 West 132nd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on September 21st of 2022. Appeal received October 18th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Thomas Ren.
Thomas Schwinn?
Yeah, TWS is me.
Okay.
One, two.
Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
Well, I thought I finished comply with the requirement, and for which property you say 3742?
This is for 3424 West 132nd.
34. Yeah, I email all the photos to the building department, I think, Miss Davis and Waverly. And I thought I finished the work I need to do.
Has it been inspected?
Huh?
Has it been inspected?
No, and I called I sent a request to ask for inspection 4 months ago, and I think it's March. I sent it 2 days, but I didn't get. I finished the work about 6 months ago, I think.
Okay.
And then I sent an email with all the photos to the inspector and asked her to come back, but I never get a response. But last week, that's almost 4 or 5 months later, last week, and I contact her, and she came out because I know that we have a hearing today, so I want to reach out to her and to come to check the property. And she did come out, and she told me more things need to do. Like the paint that we painted, the whole siding, and she said there's some spot we missed is on the peak of the roof or the edge. It's too tall now. It's dangerous to climb up to paint the little spot. One just about 5 inches by 5 inches, no, 5 inches by 3 inches, by 2 inches. That little spot on the edge I missed, she pointed out, and yeah. And I'm not sure. That's
okay.
So.
Well, let me see what. Let's go over to Mr. Vanover and see where this is at.
Yeah, you see the photo. I sent the photo.
We're looking at them. We're looking at the photos. So let's go over to Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, if your house in Strongsville needed to have the peak painted, what would you do?
What? My house is not that tall. There's no peak, not that tall. My house in Strongsville not that tall now.
But if it needed painted, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, if it needed painted, you would either paint it or you would call somebody to paint it. So the height of the house is not an excuse just because it's in Cleveland, Mr. Chairman. So the inspector's results from Inspector Greg, she was there 6/27, 7/24, and 8/4. So August 4th, she was there, and this is the progress. This is the condition. So I would state that the work is not completed, and the inspector has been there, and the appellate his testimony states that he tried for 4 months to get the inspector to come out. She was out, did meet with him. He testified to that, and it's still not completed. So at this point, we would ask that you, this is a rental property, it is an investment property. And I will attest that houses in Cleveland need to be maintained the same way that houses in Strongsville do. And we would ask that you deny any more time and remand it back to us.
Okay, because it does sound like maybe you don't have as much to do, so this isn't a problem. You can go ahead and get it done. So I'm going to make a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action. Motion
So moved.
Second.
moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
I didn't get it. How much time do I get it?
You need to correct it and get it, whatever she said was needed to be done, you need to correct it right away and have the inspector out again to take care of it. There is no time. You just get it done.
Oh.
Okay?
But what are you going to send it to me within 2 weeks?
Well, I'm gonna send this, what we had just ruled on this to you. That's all. We give you the ruling, but you get it done as soon as you can.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, docket A 18922 has been withdrawn.
I have another hearing today for another property. Can you do it the same time?
No, sir, we cannot. That is not on our docket.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
it's later on this docket. He does have one more property on this agenda. He just have to wait till it's called.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay, wait till we bring it up, okay? So
Okay.
hang in there. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Okay, docket A 19022, 4427 Fulton Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is fire damage issued on October 17th of 2022. Appeal was received November 16th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see the owner and or the power of attorney, Michelle Russell, in the participant panel.
Okay. All right, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson, go ahead and ask your questions.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, email, voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And to the chairman, due process requirement of notice have been given. The board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, it appears that there's a power of attorney on this property due to the owner's death. It does appear that this property was owner occupied. I mean, we would ask that you deny more time and remand it back to us, but it appears that the ownership of this property is pretty complicated at this point.
Okay. All right, so motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action. Motion? A motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Housing docket A 19122 has been withdrawn. So docket A 19222,
Can you go back so I can get the address off of that?
sure, the address was 4131 East 74th Street.
Thank you.
Okay. Next docket, A 19222, 926 Fruit Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance, issued on October 12th of 2022. Appeal was received November 11th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Ashley McLaughlin, attorney for Shauna Rutherford.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do. You may also want to swear in Miss Rutherford as well.
Okay, what's the name on the other?
Shauna Rutherford is my
Okay,
client. She's the
gotcha.
owner of this parcel.
Okay, so Shauna Rutherford, if you're there or online, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Thank you. This property was purchased by Miss Rutherford last year. The violations are external. They are not related to health or safety. She's actually pulled a permit to demolish this property. This is parcel 004-21165. Her new residence is located on an adjoining property, which is 004-21164. That is new construction. Between purchasing these two lots and the new building, she's invested about $1 million into this corner. So she just asked for time to execute the permit for the demolition.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, can you provide me the building permit number for the demolition?
Ms. McLaughlin.
Oh, I don't actually have that. Her builder just got back to me today telling me that the permit was issued. I asked for the number, but I didn't receive it. He said the last thing they're waiting on before demolition is for the gas to be shut off.
What is the
utility said.
what is the partner address?
The address where the new home is located.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2563 West 10th Street. It doesn't have an address in the county system yet. So it's parcel 004-21164.
Hold on, bear with me. Can you provide that again?
Sure. 2563 West 10th Street, parcel number 004-21164.
Can you provide me, hold on. And what is the parcel number for the Fruit Street address?
That is 004-21165.
So I don't have any record of any permits being pulled on either of those parcel numbers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the actual parcel number from the builder. I can give you his information. I'm certain there must have been permits filed for the West 10th Avenue because the new construction there is nearly complete. Shauna, can you speak to that? Do you know what permits you pulled for West 10th Street?
For West 10th, I'm honestly, I'm not sure, but that was, the house is getting built through Cleveland Custom Homes. And it's been active since last year, so it's almost completed. Jeff Crawford is the owner.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that information, I can't look it up with that information. So Mr. Chairman, we don't object to more time if there's a permit in place, but I'll need to I need to know what that is, 'cause based on the information provided, I don't have any
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I don't have the permit number either, but this morning the builder represented to me, all permits have been acquired and issued, all utilities, with the exception of gas, have been terminated. We're waiting for Dominion to come out and cut that at the street, and final demolition will begin. Everything else has been taken care of, approved, and acquired, and is ready to go. So that is his statement to me. Let me see if he's followed up on this yet. He gave me permit number B as in boy, 2300594 with an issuance date of August 9th. Sorry, that email just came in.
Okay, you said B 2300
594.
Yeah, he's missing a number.
All right, well, I will reply to him, and we will certainly sort this out. He says he's also been in contact with Dominion, and they said they will be out within the week to actually terminate gas service, and the following day they expect to begin demolition. I'm certain that she would only need a very short extension to get this
So
completed.
what I'd like, if you could respond to your builder, through the chair. Mr. Chairman, and if we can hold this docket until the end, and then hopefully we have a legitimate building permit number at that point.
Okay, they're trying to contact him. Is that what that's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll do that. We'll put you at the end here and see if you come up with it, okay? So no decision at this point. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll move on to the next docket, A 19322, 3742 West 133rd Street.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Davis has stepped out for just a few minutes. I request that we hold until she's back. She'll be back.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you. It's the end.
Oh, to come back. Okay,
So we're 8193.
okay. Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on October 25th of 2022. Appeal was received November 18th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. TWS? Who's the next? Thomas Wren?
I cannot hear you. No voice.
okay. This is your second property? Yes.
Yeah, today I have two here, two cases.
Okay, all right, hold on. So we have the right one there, Ms. Davis?
Yes, 19322.
Okay, very good.
3742.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know.
I have done all the exteriors repairing and the garage, everything I think I did, and including the porch. But the tenant, as I state in my email, I have a hard time to access to inside the property to do the work because she pipe out all the box or everything in the living room, in the kitchen, everywhere. She did not even put the box to different ways. So the living room and the kitchen and the whole house full with the box, and they needed to move. The tenant need to move her stuff before we can do the job. But I did some of them, and I think I finished most of them. And last week, and I finally get access, and I finished the flooring, and we did the electricals, and but I have a hard time to access the in the house.
Do you have it all complete now?
I'm not sure. I need to have the inspector come to check it and then to let me know. I think I did.
And so how much time do you think you need?
Can you give me 6 months?
6 months? Wow.
Because
Okay,
I have
go.
other order. I have other, just like the one, and I needed to finish too much thing to handle by one person. It's not just this case.
Okay, well, let me go over to Mr. Vanover.
So Chairman, to the appellate, so this property is still occupied?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, we object to 6 months. I think that this property should have been maintained as a rental property, and it should remain registered. There's a lot of issues. There's carbon monoxide detectors that are missing from this location. There's a bed bug problem that needs to be exterminated. We object to 6 months. I think that in 60 days, this should be completed.
Are you the inspector or what?
He's the chief inspector.
Oh, okay. A lot of things the tenant make it up, like a bug issue or whatever. There's no bug there, and she tried to not to pay the rent, and then once we tried to evict her, and she called the city for the inspection, because we evict her for non-payment. She make up a lot. And does the inspector see any bugs in there? I don't, because before she moved in, we cleaned the whole place pretty well.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
If I can respond. So the inspector did say that there was bed bugs.
Because she told her.
I'm not going to talk over you, sir. Mr. Chairman, if I through the chair, if you let me explain. You asked the question and I wish to respond. Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, when did you buy this property? How long have you owned this property?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I'm asking you, how long have you owned this property?
3 or 4 years
So Mr. Chairman,
before the COVID. Yeah.
in response, this has been an investment property. This is the business of renting property. And the expectation is that you keep it maintained while the tenants are there or while they're not. The issues at hand, there's broken window panes, there's cracks in the walls, there's cracks in the floor. There are outlets in the basement that are problematic. The premises needs to be cleaned up. There's bed bugs. So there's multiple problems that some may be caused by the tenant, but others are not. So, Mr. Chairman, we ask for no more than 60 days, and with the expectation from the property owner that they continue to maintain this property as is their responsibility.
Have you seen the photo? I emailed to the building department. They looks pretty good when the work we did. And, one of the worst thing to be a landlord is we don't have much control to the property once we give the key to, once the tenant move in. And we issue 7 or 8 advance notice and they change the lock, they just allow us in. And then we don't have much control to some usually tenant. If they're a good tenant, we will have control. But if they intentionally not to work with us, we will have a hard time to control, to do the work. This is one of the things we have been a landlord, and we are responsible for the people who we have no control on it.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, on that, we agree. You are responsible for the people that are in your property and your property. So, Mr. Chairman, we're ready for a resolution.
Okay, so we will give you 60 days to abate the violations. And so that's October 15th, 60 days to 2023 to abate all the violations. Motion is in order.
Move.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dane.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll receive a notice within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next docket. Is A 19422 31.
Hello? Hi, can anyone hear me?
Please mute your mic until your docket is
And we
called.
can hear you.
Okay, well, my docket was called earlier and I was trying to respond and my mute button for some odd reason was stuck and I kept trying to respond at the beginning, but my docket has been called. So is there any way that they can recall my docket at the conclusion of the rest of the docket?
What's your docket number?
It was from Norman Chalupnik, 4427 Fulton.
Okay, we'll bring you back up again at the end.
I truly appreciate it. I'm sorry for the inconvenience and I apologize for interrupting.
Okay.
Okay, next docket is A 19422 3177 West 138th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and exterior maintenance. Issued on October 25th of 2022. Appeal was received November 21st of 2022. Requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Denise McDonald.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
I've fixed all the violations. I did hire a contractor for the porch. He told me he filed a permit. I do have a permit number. It's B as in boy, 230-21445.
Okay, and how much more time do you think you need to abate all the violations?
I fixed all the violations. I
You
sent
have
in
fixed it.
pictures.
Okay, and have you had an inspector out?
She did come out and then I referred it to the contractor and he contacted or went downtown and talked to someone.
Okay, all right, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, the permit was submitted this morning. I'm sorry, the permit was submitted yesterday. And it's currently under review. We don't object to more time, another 30 days to gain the permit and to complete the correction of the work.
Okay, so motion is in order for August 30th, or no, for September 15th, 30 days, 2023 to abate all violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So as long as the permit is in order, what else would I have to do? Call for an inspection?
Yes, your contractor will need to call for inspections and get final inspections, and as long as it's compliant with the plans and the approval, then the permit will get closed and the violation notice will get closed together.
Okay, so as far as I know, there was only 3 violations. One was a cracked window, one was a pole on the garage and the front porch. Were the 3 violations,
Okay.
correct?
That's what I've got. That's what the VN is showing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next docket, A 19522, 14600 Montrose Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on October 20th of 2022. Appeal received November 16th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing. Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Barbara Dittert.
Okay, Ms. Dittert, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
I have a permit right now and construction is underway on the front porch. The inspector has been by, the stamped plans are posted on the house. The permit is posted on the house. Construction is underway and I am double checking. I believe the inspector, Charles Davis, is scheduled to be stopping by for an inspection tomorrow at 1:30 for another inspection. So he has been stopping by and communicating with my contractor.
Okay, so you have any idea on how much time you need?
As soon as Charles approves the plans, then we can move forward. I mean, my contractor says at this point, all he has to do is install the railing and it's basically done. He was told to stop working. Charles told him to stop working on it temporarily because there was a small issue with finding the stamped plans. But those have been located, and so he's been given the okay to resume work. So, I mean, a week maybe, if that.
Okay, well, we'll see. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 30 days.
Okay. Motion is in order to grant to September 15th, 30 days, 2023 to abate the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you're fine. Well, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, docket A 196-22, 38 13th East 52nd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on November 2nd of 2022. Appeal received November 28th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see Mr. Francis on the participant panel or his
Okay.
contractor.
We don't have anybody on that one?
No.
Okay, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, I did have a conversation with this appellant last night, and he did say he was given authority to his contractor to speak on his behalf this morning.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did the appellant provide a name of the contractor or contact information for that contractor?
Give me 1 second. Mr. Michael M. Wilson Sr.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, has that individual contacted you or reached out to you?
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, in light of the communication between Ms. Davis and the appellant, I would ask that the board continue this action for one more hearing, allowing the appellant an opportunity to be heard.
Okay, Ms. Davis, you can reschedule.
Mr.
Vanover.
Never mind.
Okay. All right, so we'll reschedule it.
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Jacobson, we will reschedule this in 2 weeks for August 30th. I will like to read on the record, this was issued in November of last year. It was scheduled originally for March 15th, was postponed to August 16th, and we will reschedule it for August 30th.
Okay, lots of time for due process, huh? Okay, next docket, A 130-23, 15723 School Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the main structure. Issued on May 30th of 2023. Appeal was received on June 23rd of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Owner Rico Webster.
Hey, Mr. Webster, I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Let us know what your plans are.
Plans are to fully rehab the property. I'm not sure if you guys have the pictures of the before, but during that process, we were actually demoing the inside of the property. I had tenants that were there that were just outrageously nasty, so we had to demo the entire property. And during that process, the housing inspector had gave me a call, and I let them in. So I was, I guess being helping, I guess, or whatever the case may be. But they came in, inspected, and I told them that we were actually going to rehab the entire property. So I am in the process of doing all of that. We have since then cleaned up the entire outside of the property, cut trees down and everything else, and clean up the size of the house and everything else. I do have a contractor. We're actually in the process of getting the windows and the doors this week, actually. So I'm just requesting time to get that done.
Okay, how much more time do you think you need?
So seeing that we're going to do a full rehab, I would say at least a year, 6 months to a year. Yeah, we're doing a full gut out rehab.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, all of the work that you're doing requires permits, and there are no permits.
Correct.
There are no permits for the work that you've done so far, so that's work without a permit. You're gonna need to stop until you.
So there's a contractor's permit already on. I have a contractor's permit already for just to not demo, but just to clean, because the property, I had to clean up the property. It was all kinds of asbestos and everything that was in there, so I had to clean it up. And
can you provide me with the permit number?
Permit number is B2301 9181. We're also in the process of trying to find an electrician, and plumber as well.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so this permit was submitted and denied on intake because there was a communication that you need to upload photos, site plan, and a floor plan. So the information provided for the permit was not sufficient. That was done on 7/25/2003. And this was communicated to Chase Products at Yahoo.
Okay, I didn't get that. I'll make sure I'll communicate with him today.
Yeah, so there's more information needed to process the permit, and the permit has not been issued. So I'm going to require that you stop work on the property until then. That being said, Mr. Chairman, we would ask for a very limited time to obtain the permits and respond, and that no more than 180 days to
Abate all the violations.
abate all the violations.
Okay, so 2 weeks for permitting. August 30th, 2 weeks, 2023, to obtain all the permits necessary to abate the violations. Also, we'll give you to February 15th, 180 days, 2024, at 6 months to abate all the violations. Motion is in order.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, adjudication order housing, docket A, 13823, 4699 Marcy Drive.
Application and fees are in order. This is an adjudication order to a pool that was issued on June 27th of 2023. Appeal was received July 6th of 2023, requesting for a variance. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney representative, please state your name for the record.
Josie Roberts, and I believe my husband is also on the line.
Okay, so we'll swear both of you in, both of you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. All righty, go ahead and let me know, I see this is a pool, so let me know what your plans are.
Yeah, so the way that our property line is set up and most in our neighborhood, it is impossible to put a pool 10 foot from any property line. You can see what my plans are. I also submitted a bunch of other pictures of people in our neighborhood that have pools as well. But with none of them being 10 feet from the property line. This is, just I'm trying to self-install it. So I know some of the pictures that I sent were not the greatest, but I'm, just trying to put up a pool for my 6-year-old daughter to have fun in the summers with. So we've got a GFI cord back there. The pool does have a safety ladder, so we can take that off when we're not using it. We have a cover for it. The home is completely fenced in, so you can't get back there to the pool.
To Mr. Chairman, no, we did notify the affected neighbors. None of them returned comment to the board for or against.
How far from that fence line is the edge of the pool?
It would be about 3 to 4 feet on either side. So we can get a mower through there and maintain the lawn.
How deep is the pool?
3.5 to 4 feet deep. It's 52 inches, but because my daughter's only 6, we're not filling it up all the way.
Yeah, but you will. She won't be 6 forever.
Yeah.
So, and we did, Mr. Chairman to Ms. Davis, so to restate what you said, we did, send to the, neighbors with no response.
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Vanover, the board did notify the following, give me one second. The board did notify the following neighbors. We notified 3 neighbors that will be directly affected by a pool in case of rupture. The addresses are 4695 Marcy Drive, 4703 Marcy Drive, and 805 Pelly Drive. The one neighbor refused to sign for the certified mail that was returned to the board. The neighbor located at 4695 Marcy Drive. The others did not respond to the board request for comments.
So, Mr. Vanover, what's the protocol when something like this, you don't have an affirmative, but we don't have any negatives to it either?
Well, Mr. Chairman, they were provided an opportunity to speak on their behalf. I will ask the appellate, though, how do you get along with your neighbors?
Our kids at 4695 are over at my house all of the time. So they are well aware of the pool and are looking forward to us having it as well.
Right. So, Mr. Chairman, we don't object to the variance being granted. For the record, the neighbors were notified, they were provided due process and chose not to respond in the affirmative or in a contrary manner. So that being said, we don't object.
Okay, so according to what's been provided to you, we will, a motion is in order to grant the variance for the distance from the properties for the pool. Motion so in order?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, board.
All righty. We have, we can go to probably first to 9427 Fulton. Let me go back to that. Give it the proper.
Was it 190-22?
Oh, 190-22. Okay, 4427 Fulton Road. Go ahead. We call it.
Application and fees are in order. This is a notice of violation is fire damage that was issued on October 17th of 2022. Appeal was received on November 16th of 2022. Present for the hearing, Tom Vanover, Building and Housing, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name and the capacity on what you represent for this owner or representative?
Hi, my name is Michelle Russell. I am the authorized representative for Mr. Chalupnik, who has passed for both financial and medical reasons. And I do apologize, and I am very grateful that you allowed me to speak again at the end. I'm sorry for my technical issues.
Ms. Russell, I'm going to swear you in. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, and I guess you are the authorized representative, so let us know what your plans are.
Okay, well, at this particular moment, we were in the process of possibly selling the property due to Mr. Chalupnik's possible inability to pay for his assisted living, which is where he was residing when this fire took place. However, as noted, because I was in the meeting, you just couldn't hear me, Mr. Chalupnik did pass away June 24th of this year. I did obtain the death certificate. I did speak to Inspector Barkos. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. And I did let him know that I needed to obtain the death certificate and I needed to file the will with probate court because there was already a standing will in place from 2016. But there is an updated will that was made or processed or drawn up, I guess is the best way to put it, last year in March of 2022. I did attempt to file that when I did pick up the death certificate yesterday. I did also speak to Inspector Barkos, and he said that I offered to bring a copy of that upstairs to housing. He stated that he would have the law office pull their own copy of the death certificate. I then stated to him that I was on my way to probate court. I walked down to probate court, and unfortunately, because all the attorney provided me, which is Ayler Stallings, all they provided me was a copy of the will, and unfortunately, probate court does not accept copies, so I have to obtain the original copy of the will, and I have to file that down at probate court, which I plan on doing within the next couple of days. I do also have elderly parents that are in Cincinnati that my father in particular does have a couple of things going on, which is why the delay in getting the death certificate and proceeding on. However, I do know that this is of utmost importance, but I just I do not want to do anything to the property until everything is in place on who is going to own the property. And if in fact there is no objections, I am the person, I am the executor of the will. If there is no objections, I plan on keeping the property and having it repaired and pulling the proper permits and so on.
We'll get over to Mr. Vanover, but I as far as the legal issue on that is whether you have the authority to do so. And so let's go over to Mr. Vanover and we'll move from there.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, is there any idea of the timeline for when this will be settled?
Like I stated previously, and I do apologize, I am going to file the updated will within the next couple of days. So once everything is established with the will and everything is in I don't know, there are some relatives that had nothing to do with him for prior years, but this was their grandparents' home. I don't assume there may be some objections to me being the person in receipt of the home and his will. However, you just never know. And like I stated, I will be filing. I left a message for Ayler Stallings today for them to give me a call back so I can go obtain the original document so I can file the will. So as soon as I get that original docket, I will go downtown and I will file the will.
Mr. Chairman, we're going to ask for 30 days to abate the violations. It sounds like there's a lot going on and there's still a lot of ambiguity. And in the meantime, while all of this is taking place, this burned structure sits in the neighborhood. So we wouldn't object to granting 30 days, and then hopefully that will inspire everybody involved to get the permits and begin making the corrections and getting it through the process as quickly as possible. But ultimately, our responsibility here is to protect the neighbors and the neighborhood. So we would ask for no more than 30 days.
Okay.
I have been maintaining the property, and according to Inspector Barkos, the structure is secure. The grass has been cut. There is no type of anything in the meantime. As far as anything else, I'm not comfortable obtaining permits in my name until that property is in my name. So that's the only delay with the situation. Prior to that, as I stated, we were going to sell the property to have monies to pay for his assisted living care. I just don't want to pull permits for a property in my name where somebody else may object and come in and, with the will process. I do make sure that the property is secure. I do make sure that it is well maintained on the outside. There was only 20% damage to the interior of the home. However, Mr. Chalupnik did accumulate a lot of things. His mobility was very limited prior to him being hospitalized and in assisted living. So I am going to have to get a dumpster before I can do any permits. There's no electric in there because that was an electrical fire. I am going to have to pull a dumpster in there and have all of the contents removed, of all the contents in the rooms that were affected removed before I can have somebody come in and do any type of electrical work.
Mr. Chairman of the appellate,
I am at the mercy of you guys, of the board. I do understand that, but I do hope that you can consider the factors that are going on with this address. It's not me completely just delaying and not doing what I'm supposed to. As I stated, his finances were becoming very limited towards the end, and we were going to sell the property. That's why there had been no permits or anything pulled, but that was because we needed to keep him in the assisted living. Now that he
I
has
understand,
passed,
and now we're kind of circling around here, Mr. Chairman. So to the appellate, I understand your position, and I hope you understand ours. But I think that at this point, it's important, as you are aware of the time that it's you know, the sense of urgency to get things repaired. A limited amount of time will also inform anybody else who thinks they want to take possession of the property, or they want to contest the will, or whatever the case may be. They will also be put on notice that if they take possession, they will also have that 30-day time period to make the corrections. So whoever's going to end up with, if I can finish, please. Whoever's going to take possession of the property needs to understand that it can't just be drug out for months and weeks and years. There is a sense of urgency.
what if the process with probate court exceeds 30 days?
Excuse me?
What if the process with probate court, with hearing the will and doing, you know, what they need to do, what if that exceeds 30 days? Then what will happen then?
Well, then it'll be remanded back to the Department of Building and Housing, and it could, you know, I mean, for us to take our administrative action. But as long as it's under a stay by this board, we have no authority to do anything. And then it will come back to the Department of Building and Housing, which may end up in administrative or legal action.
Okay.
Okay, so the 30 days sort of forces the hand for everybody to get moving, as long as you know that we have put that out there. So motion is in order for September 15th, 30 days, 2023 to, is this for obtaining permits or just because I don't think they could abate the violation within that amount of time, Mr. Vanover?
Well, Mr. Chairman, at this point, I mean, if they make application, pull the permits, then the Residential Code of Ohio takes over. I mean, right now, we've got a request for more time that's an imaginary amount of time. So, and that we can't, so there are, you know, legally, if they make application and pull the permits and are working actively on the property, then the Residential Code of Ohio will set the timelines.
Okay.
But until that time, there, you know, the Department of Building and Housing in the city of Cleveland needs to be able to enforce our action to force foreclosure, force probate, not foreclosure, force probate and the parties involved to act on behalf of the property. Otherwise, these things can drag for years.
Right. Okay, September 15th, 30 days, 2023 to obtain the permits. Motion so in order.
Move.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Let's see, we're going back to docket A 19222. And that is, I'm going to call it 926 Fruit Avenue. And it's also 2563 West 10th Street.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, all right. We can swear you in again, Ms. McLaughlin, and who else do we have? Miss Rutherford. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what you found out.
Thank you so much for waiting for us. We really appreciate you delaying us. So we were able to talk to the builder, and he sent us to his subcontractor, who is the excavator, which is RS Construction. We did speak directly with the owner of that company. He is saying the permit number that he gave us, that B2300594, is actually from Cleveland Water to disconnect the water and sewer. He says that he anticipated having this demolished in July, but that he's had some delays due to the utility companies requesting time for shutoff. He does understand that he needs a demolition permit number. He has not yet pulled that. He says it will be done today. And also he is still waiting for Dominion to shut off the gas. So we would just ask for some time for demolition. She has no plans at all to do any repairs to this home. It's not in bad condition. This is the condition that she purchased the home in. But this is going to be an expansion of her property. It's basically going to be her backyard once the demolition is complete.
Is there something necessary for permits for the 2563 West 10th Street?
No, that construction is nearly complete.
Okay, let me go back to Mr. Vanover.
Bear with me, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
for the record, before us is 926 Fruit, right? Because this other address is throwing my records off with the court reporter. So before us, we're hearing 926 Fruit Avenue. Is the pictures, could you go to the PowerPoint, please? The pictures that the inspector submitted to us, are those the accurate pictures for this property, or are these the wrong pictures?
I would say that those are accurate for 926 Fruit Avenue.
Okay.
Now, these are pictures of the Fruit Avenue house with the brand new windows in it?
Correct. So yeah, so that house was actually purchased to be flipped by a realtor. In the meantime, Ms. Rutherford bought the adjoining property and had interest in purchasing that house. I understand how the board views it, but she's going to demolish this house with brand new windows.
Okay, so we're here today just to hear 926 Fruit Avenue on violation notice V as in Victor 220-26966 for exterior maintenance. We're not here to hear on West 10th or any of that. So the record is not confused. Just 926 Fruit Avenue for the exterior maintenance. That is what's for this board today.
And I'm hearing by the end of July is what they're saying, that they can't be, right? By when? When would this be demolished?
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
They didn't, and to be honest, they didn't make it in a timely response to me either, which is why I've delayed you all this morning. I sincerely apologize. I would imagine they do not need more than 30 days.
Okay.
They are promising us a permit for demolition will be pulled today.
Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, I don't object to 30 days to abate the violations.
Do you have any other questions, Mr. Vanover? You all set?
I would still, you probably don't have the building permit number for the new house on 10th, do you? Because I'm still unable to find that.
I don't.
Which is
it doesn't
concerning.
actually, so we'll look into that as well, obviously. It doesn't actually have an address yet. I just have the parcel number for that West 10th Avenue.
The builder should have a B number for that as well. But Mr. Chairman, being that that's not the issue at hand, I'm going to ask that the appellate verify that there is an active building permit, because I'm seeing a permit for a lot consolidation, and that has not yet been completed. And so it concerns me that just verify that that there is a permit in place. But we can move on, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we've maybe settled that issue. there is a permit in place, Ms. McLaughlin, for demo?
No,
Mr.
there is not. There
Chairman?
will be.
There is not.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I don't want to confuse the record. We're not, that her new construction, that lot thing is not before us. We're only speaking on 926 Fruit Avenue.
Okay.
Today.
Mr. Chairman to Ms. Davis, my position on granting or not granting time for the demolition of the structure is contingent on the fact that there is a new construction home adjacent to it, and that these properties will ultimately be consolidated. Short of that, there is, my position on this matter would change. So while I don't want to confuse the record any more than you do, one of my mandate is to make sure that when one item affects another, that all items are legally established. So that being said, Mr. Chairman, you can make your motion.
Okay, Ms. McLaughlin, you can make sure that information gets put over to the city. All right, so we have a motion for September 15th, 30 days, 2023 to abate the violation. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey. Second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
If I may say one more thing, I'm so sorry about this. And I certainly do not mean to confuse the record, but I did just hear back from the builder for the West 10th Avenue. He sent me a picture of the permit number B, as in boy, 21014642. We'll just have that on the record, although I understand I have certainly confused your record today.
I got it.
That was helpful. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. I think we're through all of the dockets. And so we'll go on with the approval of resolutions. A2623, A4823, A4923, 5023, 5123, 5223, 5323, A5423, A5723, A1223, A1323, A2523, A12823, and A14123. Motion?
Move.
Moved by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Approval of minutes of August 2nd, 2023. Are there any additions or corrections?
No.
Okay, motion?
Move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Is there anything else to come before the board?
No.
Okay, we are now adjourned. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Good day.
Thanks.
Be good, guys.